TCSPP grad. Again, it's TCSPP grad. We are delighted that family and friends of our graduates have joined us from around the world to celebrate this important day. Welcome and thank you. And we'll begin the program momentarily.
President Nealon, I am honored to announce that members of the graduating class, the faculty and staff, and administrators of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology are all now present. All are gathered here for the 2022 commencement ceremony in Washington, D.C.
Thank you, Dr. Barrett, and welcome to all of you. Good morning. Just a heads up, I think somebody tells you somewhere to be quiet throughout the ceremony, and I would really encourage you to listen to everything except that part. That's the way. Please stand if you are able and face the United States flag for the national anthem, performed by Dr. Layli Sharif Wilson, a graduate from our clinical psychology program.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. The Washington, D.C. commencement is always the rowdiest, so you're getting off to a great start. I love it. I'm Dr. Michelle Nealon, president of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to welcome you this morning to the Lisner Auditorium for the 2022 commencement ceremony here in Washington, D.C. Commencement is such a wonderful tradition at the Chicago School, and we're just honored to have you join us today. As you share these moments with your friends and your family in the auditorium, please do also share them on social media. #TCSPPgrad. For those of us in our 50s, it just feels good to say that these days. #. I am delighted to welcome special guests that are with us on this stage today, and I ask that they rise as I call their names so we can celebrate them. First is Dr. Thelma Daly, our honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker. Dr. Daly. And also Dr. Bethany Patterson, our student speaker. For our graduates. This event is the culmination of so many years of study and for some of you, several years waiting to celebrate their accomplishments in person, way to be able to be together in an auditorium. For the families of our graduates, this event, I know, is the manifestation of all of your hopes and your dreams. And for the wonderful faculty here, the programs, the people that have dedicated their time, their energy, and their efforts to you and for you, I know that this event is a moment of immense pride, pride in your accomplishments also. This is indeed a momentous occasion, a time to celebrate, a time to reflect, and a time to prepare. Today, as with all ceremonies, advice will be given, stories will be told, there will be laughter and tears, silence, lots of noise. I can't wait. And now it's my great pleasure to introduce the Chief Academic Officer of the Chicago School, Dr. Ted Schultz.
Good morning. I welcome you to this important event in the Chicago Schools academic year, and thank you for joining us today. I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Thelma Daly, this year's honorary degree recipient. Dr. Thelma Thomas Daly is a distinguished counselor, educator, organization leader, and administrator and college professor. She is an American Counseling Association Fellow and a National Board Certified Counselor. In her career, she completed a long, successful tenure with the Baltimore County Public Schools and directing the counseling program for 163 schools. At Loyola University in Maryland, she served as assistant professor in the graduate school and coordinator of clinical experiences. She has also served as an adjunct professor at her alma mater, George Washington University. She served as an instructor at the Harvard University Summer Institute for Counselors. She was appointed to the National Advisory Council on Career Education under the direction of the Secretary of Education and became the first woman to chair the council. She is a graduate of Bowie State University, New York University, and the George Washington University. She has pursued additional study at Catholic University, American University, and the University of Maryland. Her advocacy for equity and excellence has been reflected in her many national, state, and local roles. She served as the first African-American president of the American School Counselor Association, representing the multitude of school counselors in the United States. Later, she broke racial barriers when she became president of the American Counseling Association, international in scope, and the largest counseling association in the world. She served as president of Women in Community Service, which is a coalition of the National Council of Jewish Women, National Council of Catholic Women, Church Women United, the Hispanic Women, and the National Council of Negro Women. WICS focuses on helping girls gain skills and jobs through Job Corps. She served as the 16th National President of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, whose purposes are to engage in cultural, education, and social action service activities. Please join me in welcoming and celebrating Dr. Daly. And now the presentation of our honorary degree. President Nealon, it is my honor and pleasure to present Dr. Thelma Daly for the honorary degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, I hereby confer upon you, Dr. Daly, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto pertaining. Dr. Daly, I am so pleased that on behalf of the Chicago School, we present you with this honorary degree today. Please come to the podium.
you. You know, I think they want me to say something very profound, but I have nothing that's very profound this morning but a bunch of nerves, and hope you won't throw tomatoes at me while I'm here. But you know, I think this is a very special day for all of you who are in the audience, those of you who are graduates, and those of you who have come as family members. I've even seen some who may have been 1 year old or 2 years old, and this is really, really a special day for me too. And I'm super, super honored for honoring me, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful to be here. You know, it was in February of 1986 that a door opened for me in this very, very auditorium. There was Speaker Lady Bird Johnson, and there I was, a bundle of nerves and excitement. I entered that door where you enter today as Thelma Thomas Daly, and I left as Dr. Thelma Thomas Daly. From that very door, many doors have opened for me. You know, today, a door opened. As I walked in, it made me think, just how many doors have I seen in my life? How many have you seen? Wooden doors, glass doors, brass doors, screen doors, ornate doors, patio doors. Think about the doors you've seen: big doors, little doors, green doors, revolving doors that some people get caught in. And there are some doors neither you nor I will ever enter. But some doors carry messages that are hard to erase. You know, as a little girl, around 5 or 6 years old, growing up in Maryland, I saw an entrance to a beach area that said Gentiles only. As a little girl, I never knew what that meant, but it's still right there with me. And when I went a little farther south of Maryland, I saw doors that said white and colored. Doors. You know, these childhood memories about doors, just doors, because I know you're thinking about doors right now. Those memories are indelible after all these decades. But many good doors have opened in all of our lives. And as the saying goes, it doesn't matter which door we enter, it's what we do when we get inside. So some doors are heavy to push. We're happy when the person behind us lends a hand, for it is better to push together, my friends, than to push alone. So the professors of this great institution sitting here have opened doors for all of you gathered as graduates. Doors of knowledge, doors of wisdom, doors of creativity, and doors to value inclusion, and doors to stimulate new worldviews and wider visions, and doors to push all to horizons you have not yet imagined. You know, who helped Madame Curie to open doors to great discoveries when many in her day thought women should not be chemists nor physicists? And imagine, she was even vilified, but she was the first woman to get a Nobel Peace Prize, and she was the first person to get it twice. Yes, even though she was vilified. And in the whole world today, we are better because of her discoveries in polonium and uranium. Maybe because Jonas Salk opened doors. Few doors are closed to little children, even little children in this audience, due to polio. And Mother Teresa opened doors to the poor, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, the doors, invisible doors, symbolic doors. What's going through your mind in reference to doors? Doors to wisdom, doors to humility and peace that emanated from Gandhi still prevail and is needed so much today. And for those of you in this audience who are graduating, think of the theorists who have opened doors for you, like Bandura and Peter Drucker and Freud and Maslow and Erickson and Fromm and Viktor Frankl and McGregor, Rollo May and Bennis and Rogers and Havinghurst and many others who allowed you and me to enter the doors of knowledge and empowerment that has fortified us in opening doors for others. And very key is to always open doors for others. Doors, with the help of others, open doors for me to help me build some little schools in Benin, West Africa. The only solid buildings standing in those communities today that are not those buildings that are not made of clay nor straw, and where the children no longer have to walk 5 to 10 miles to a distant village. An indelible door opened for me when the great civil rights leader, Dorothy Irene Height, invited me to go with her on 3 trips to Ruleville, Mississippi, in Sunflower County, that Fannie Lou Hamer called the rulest of the rural and the poorest of the poor. And I remember the day when we went to Sunflower County, and believe it or not, we took in what was called the pig bank. Pigs, just little pigs. What did it mean to the people? Because each family received 2 pigs that they were to breed and have family for their foods so that they could later fight for justice. We opened doors that they never could believe. Oh, yes, just doors, doors. And so each of you in this room will enter, pass, or try to open some door that for some way you will see a better today, a better tomorrow, and a tomorrow. Some will offer a challenge, I will say to you, and some will never, never, ever open to you. Some may be revolving doors, and some will close right in your face, just like the subway door we run for at the last minute to try to enter before it closes and swiftly passes by. So as you envision doors right now, wherever you are, just think about the fact, I want you to hold fast to your vision, hold fast to your dreams, believe in your worth, and always look back across and appreciate those who opened doors for you, and some who pulled you through the revolving doors, just like the Chicago School of Psychology has opened doors for me that I never, never imagined, and has opened doors for you. I'm deeply grateful to the outstanding former professor who put forth my name, and to the distinguished faculty and administration and staff who thought that I was worthy, even though I may think I'm not worthy. And to you, the grads, always keep a foot in the door. Listen to this. Always keep a foot in your door. And when you need it, you can push it wide open. Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts, just my thoughts on doors, just on doors. Now listen, you have heard my thoughts One day, grads, I'm going to come back to hear your thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Daly. I'd like to now call forward Dr. Breda McGrath, Associate Campus Dean of the Online Campus, to introduce our representative of the graduating class.
Thank you, Dr. Schultz. One of the many traditions at institutions of higher learning is to hear from one of our graduates. I'm thrilled to present Dr. Bethany Patterson as the representative of our graduating class today. Dr. Patterson is a board-certified behavior analyst, licensed board analyst in Virginia, and the clinical director of Helianthus Positive Behavior Supports. She has experience in the field of applied behavior analysis, working with children from 18 months old to adults 45 years of age. She has worked with individuals with a wide range of diagnoses, including autism, attention deficit disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, bipolar disorder, Fragile X syndrome, seizure disorders, schizophrenia, and traumatic brain injury. She has worked as a behavior analyst in numerous locations and settings across the community, including school districts, in home with families and children, in day schools, and residential settings. Dr. Patterson has a Master of Science in Education from Bay Path University and a doctorate in Educational Psychology and Technology from the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Dr. Patterson is also a member or affiliate of a number of professional associations, including the Kappa Delta Phi Society of Education, the Virginia Association for Behavior Analysis, North Carolina Association for Behavior Analysis, the Association of Professional Behavior Analysis, the Association for Educational Communication Technology, and the American Psychological Association. Dr. Patterson has also served on the boards of the Family Readiness Group for the USS Helena in Norfolk, Virginia, and the Hawaii Association for Behavior Analysis. She's also a former leader of the Do Better movement. Bethany is a mother of 3. She's a military spouse, and she's a published author of the children's book, Daddy's Submarine. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Bethany Patterson to the stage.
Hello, my name is Dr. Bethany Patterson. When I first started looking for schools for a doctoral program, I felt I was placed in a box labeled military spouse. Many military spouses, especially enlisted spouses, feel locked into this unforgiving box. They are to follow their spouse, take care of their family, and often give up their own goals and pursuits. The constant moves, the hurry up and waits, and the unknowns make it very difficult for spouses to pursue any education, never mind higher education. When looking for graduate programs, I was extremely frustrated by the many representatives who would ask me, what if your spouse deploys? What if you move? And the many other stressful questions. The Chicago School of Professional Psychology never asked those questions. Instead, they provided me innovative and quality approaches to my unique military lifestyle. They were committed to and respectful of the military lifestyle and provided student-focused learning that catered to my needs. During my time here, the Chicago School of Professional Psychology was committed to fostering an environment of mutual respect and inclusion where the learning environment is enhanced by each community member. My learning environment was optimized by active learners, different cultures, and diversity, and through integrative psychological theories, scientific research, and professional practice. The Chicago Schools' values are education, innovation, service, and community. And boy, did I get an incredible community. A community I would travel to South Africa with, join a sorority with, form a tight-knit cohort with, and knowledgeable and passionate mentors. During this time, I felt a need to give back. I started a military support group for those practicing in behavior analysis. I joined and actively participated in other organizations, such as Military Spouse PhD group and military doctoral students. In a space where not always welcomed, we created a space to support each other. Getting through the deployments with no support from family and friends to help, crying happy tears for each other when we successfully defended while not hearing from our spouses for months, or even that encouraging message, "You got this." Today, I embody the Chicago Schools' values of education, innovation, service, and community. I currently mentor 5 military spouses, either practicing behavior analysis or gaining a higher education, many of whom are students here at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. I created a space for military spouses to encourage each other and further their education. We share resources and support. I am honored to be an alum of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology and continue to share these important and necessary values. To my fellow graduates, today we begin a new chapter in our lives. Let us proceed in this new chapter with the values of our school: education, innovation, service, and community. I urge my fellow graduates to use the education you gained at the Chicago School, but continue to broaden your knowledge and embrace opportunities to collaborate and grow. I urge you all to be innovative, be bold, and take risks. Failure is a part of life, and although frightening, we will never grow without it. Continue in your acts of professional service with an understanding of diversity and the importance of working with underserved populations. Lastly, create a community. Be the change you want to see in the world. Be the safe place, and continually give back. Graduating class, congratulations. You did it. And in case you never heard it, you got this too. You have worked hard, and now all your hard work has paid off. Take this time to celebrate all your achievements. Good luck on your new chapters, and good health. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Dorothy Collins, Campus Dean for the Washington, D.C. campus, and it is now time to proceed with the presentation of candidates for degrees. Each candidate has been approved. Each candidate has been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated in the program and in their diploma, subject to completion of all degree requirements. In order for each graduate's name to be heard clearly, despite what Dr. Nealon has said, I respectfully ask that the audience please hold applause until the end.
Will the candidates for degrees in applied behavior analysis please approach the stage? Will Dr. Flynn and Dr. McGrath please step forward to congratulate her students? Tracy Solomon. Helionette Sanchez Felizi. Lorena Trujillo. Janelle Jones. We will now announce the candidates for Master of Science Applied Behavior Analysis. Destiny Robinson. Elizabeth Daughtry. Marincia Gake. Antoinette Godwin Cole. Jesse Biggs. Aldrine Tan. Alu Watem Ehe Ade Mo Lege. Kieran Leilani. Iman Bayani. De'Ara McDougall. Kennedy Cross. Sharon Lachey Michelle Brooks. Naomi Joseph James. Tamila Glaze. Kayla Wadi. We will now announce the candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, Applied Behavior Analysis. Katie Ann Henry. Dissertation title, A Behavior Analytic Investigation of the Effects of Loving Kindness Meditation on Professional Psychological Flexibility. Natalie Perillo. Dissertation title, Effects of Feedback with and Without Response Rehearsals and Feedback Preference on Performance. Scott O'Donnell. A dissertation title, Parts of a Whole, Behavior Analysis and Golf. Joseph Panozzo. Dissertation title, The Effects of Choice on Physical Activity Engagement in Elementary-Aged Children. Stephanie Knox. Dissertation title, The Effects of Using High-Quality Feedback to Train Educators on Acceptance and Commitment Training-Based Intervention. Shannon Martinez. Dissertation title, Beyond Basics BIPS, Efficacy of Parent Training Using Enhanced Pamphlet. Lori Chamberlain. Dissertation title, An Analysis of the Effects of Listener Responding and TAC Training on the Emergence of Intraverbals. Jair Yepes. Dissertation title, Effects of a Video-Based Behavior Skill Training on the Prediction of Ball Direction and Penalty Kicks. Pranali Hoyle. Dissertation title, The Effects of Brief Mindfulness-Based Intervention on Increasing Parental Engagement in Social Play with Children. And do they have this? Will degree candidates for Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology please approach the stage? Will Dr. Schiff please come forward to congratulate her students? Jordan Cox. Dana Blades. Esther Joey. Nashwa Gali. Zanaya Dickerson. Deanna Freeman. Chioma Okeke. Emma Bramble. Brandon Rivers. Bree Hemingway. Grace Akinlolu. Sarah Louise Cruz. Ashley Sullender. Eva Williams. Will degree candidates for Doctor of Clinical Psychology please approach the stage? Nagme Modab. Nagme Modab. Dissertation title, Quality of Life in African American Survivors of Traumatic Brain Injury, based on relationship status pre and post injury. Brandy Dinklacker. Dissertation title, The Assessment of Emotion Regulation Deficits in Individuals with Traumatic Brain Injury. Leslie Isaacs, dissertation title, Modifiable Risk Factors for Suicide Ideation and Risk in Deployed Military Personnel, a Systematic Literature Review. Amanda Hyde, An Introduction to Behavioral Sleep Health, a proposed course for clinical psychology graduate curriculum. Sterling Jarrett, Decreasing the Risk of HIV in Vulnerable Adolescent Females, the Benefits of an Integrated Primary Care Setting. Alexandra Weatherly, dissertation title, Examining Risk Factors of Homelessness in Urban and Rural American Populations. Adrian Reyes Pena, dissertation title, Utilization of Mental Health Services by Latinx Youth and Their Families in an Integrated Pediatric Care Setting, a Systematic Literature Review. Jessica Rosh, dissertation title, Therapy for Clinical Psychology Graduate Students. Andrew May, dissertation title, The Nature and Prevalence of Anxiety in the Intensive Care Unit, Associated Risk Factors, Patient Outcomes, and Trends in Psychological Care. Razul Islam, Implications of Biomarkers and Associated Medical Tests on the Clinical Treatment of Mental Health Disorders. Shantae Pittman, dissertation title, The Integration of Christian Values into Cognitive Behavioral Therapy. Kenya Ford, Dissertation title, Cultural and Psychological Factors in African Americans' Reluctance to Seek or Complete Psychotherapy, a Decolonization Approach. Aisha De Silva, Tailoring Treatment for International College Students Who Experience Acculturative Stress. Alana Peterson McJimsey. Psychological Barriers and Football No Longer, a Sideline Story. Examination and response to the unique psychological issues of African American football athletes and perceived obstacles in pursuing psychological services. Alexa Hollenshed. The Role of Religion as Protective Factor Against Suicide in African American Adolescents. Jessica Owen. Effectiveness of Parent-Child Interventions in Low-Income African American Populations, a Comprehensive Literature Review. Joan Moore. The Impact of Stereotype Threat on Mental Health Treatment Use in the Black Community, a Comprehensive Literature Review. Zachary Appenzeller. Dialectical Behavior Therapy and Schema Therapy for Borderline Personality Disorder, Mechanisms of Change and Assimilative Integration. Allie Townsend. Post-traumatic stress in parents following a pediatric burn incident. Shannon Casey. Suicide risk in girls with autism spectrum disorder. Anam Rentia. Barriers to mental health treatment in the United States Muslim community. Trisha Driscoll. The influence of self-perception on externalized and internalized behavioral problems in children with autism spectrum disorder, a systematic literature review. Aman Siddiqui. A Clinical Guide to Discussing Prejudice Against Men. Sandra Alami. The Role of Perceived Social Support and Demographic Variables in Parental Chronic Pain. Andrea Wheeler. Dissertation title, What Do Therapists Think About Dogs? Vishuthi Patel. Addressing patient loss in professional healthcare settings from a social justice perspective. Niral Patel. Where are you? Exploring Mental Health Perceptions of Asian Indian Americans. Alexandra Carey. I don't have her. I don't have her dissertation. Are we in a different? I didn't have her dissertation. Okay. Rashida K. Walker. Dear Mama, an exploratory study of mental health impact of gendered racism and support on postpartum African American women. Juana Osorio Ramirez. Undeniable, the lived experiences of undocumented Latinx immigrants regarding stress and socio-political climate. Okay. Garrick Bollier. Assessing vicarious trauma in Black people who never experienced police violence. That's fine. I just need your card. That's okay. Jeffrey Garrison Jr., Resiliency Factors of Sexual Minorities in the Military, a Conceptual Review. Clarissa Z's, does gaining improvisation experience with Washington Improv Theater make a difference in reported levels of anxiety, depression, and quality of life? A pilot study. Jamie Hakeem.
Go Jamie! Yeah!
The effects of smartphone addiction on mental health. Ajwa Boating. Attitudes and views toward mental well-being in second-generation Ghanaian Americans. You can start. Samantha Black, a best practices guide addressing violence and aggression for conduct disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Sierra Hill, the psychological effects of solitary confinement. Christine Schramm, symptom production, comparing profiles of malingering, factitious disorder, and conversion disorder. Michaela Thompson, an argument for the role of Rorschach Inkblot test in violence risk assessment. Ashley Scott, the comparison of multi-systemic therapy, functional family therapy, and the adolescence community reinforcement approach. Jaquisha Kierson. Marital Satisfaction in Interracial Active Duty Military Couples, a Case Study. Layli Sharifi Wilson. A review of juvenile trauma assessment measures and methodology with a focus on court-mandated youth. Olushola Adewumi Amos. Same story, different chapter. Personal and family consequences of incarceration trauma on African American males. Will degree candidates for international psychology degrees please approach the stage? Will Dr. Roman please join Dr. McGrath to congratulate their students? We will now announce the candidate for Masters of Arts, International Psychology. Honorary Furcal. We will now announce the candidates for Doctor of Philosophy, International Psychology. Nyla Austin. The lived experience of racial prejudices about the career aspirations of Black Canadian college students. Casey Barker. How values shape attitudes, the stigma of sex work in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Sindili Matebula. Psychosocial stressors' impact on psychological well-being of pregnant women in Soweto, South Africa. Udine Elizabeth Mars Williams. Public perception of alcohol use and intimate partner violence in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Anna Ray. Dissertation title, Quality of Life Impacts for Women Who Receive a Pelvic Organ Prolapse Diagnosis and Integrated Care. Patricia Tesorario. Psychosocial impact of hydraulic fracturing on nearby communities in North America. Catherine Moldavine. Making Sense of Child Sex Trafficking in the Philippines, Perspective of Filipino Human Service Professionals. Nand. Ashley Primala Nand. Phenomenological study of women's expatriate adjustment. Thank you. Will degree candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts Psychology degrees please approach the stage? We will now announce the candidates for Bachelor of Arts Psychology. Arzu Khan. Karsha Kelsa Snavodek. We will now announce the candidates for Master of Arts Psychology. De'Ara Campbell. Armida Karimi. Peter Cade. Christine Riha. Brittany Christian. Amira Valley. Jana Rasamni. Mishan Burton. Laritza Alvera. We will now announce the candidates for Doctor of Education, Educational Psychology, and Technology. Amanda Janelle Rios. Educator perceptions and motivations of virtual professional development during the COVID-19 global pandemic, a qualitative case study. Mike Jacobs, Jr. Teacher experiences with Class Dojo as a classroom management tool in a COVID-19 virtual environment. Bethany Patterson. Traditional and electronic data collection methods. Okay. We now announce the graduates for Masters in Public Health. Heather Marquette.
Will all the candidates please rise? President Nealon, on behalf of the faculty of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, I present to you these candidates who have been approved by the faculty and the Board of Trustees to receive the degree indicated, subject to the completion of all requirements, and respectfully request that you confer upon them the degrees for which they are qualified.
Thank you, Dr. Schultz, and he wisely knows to say all of the requirements because there's one more. You can't move without showing us how you can dance. We're serious. You have to show us and your loved ones if you can dance. She's getting it going. Let's see you dance, graduates. Let's see you dance. Most of you are not moving. Now they got it going. Thank you. That's a D. Let's try to bring it up to an A. It's a total D. Let's see how good you can dance. There you go. This group's got a C, totally dropped to an F. Let's try at least for a B. There we go. We need to bring her. There you go. We got an A over here, a B plus. All right. By the authority vested in me by the dancing authorities, by the Board of Trustees of the Chicago School of Professional Psychology, and by the District of Columbia, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have qualified with all of the rights, privileges, immunities, and honors thereunto. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Okay, I'm going to ask you to please rise again. All graduates, please rise if you're able to recite the oath of affirmation, which can be found in your program book on page 22. Graduates, please raise your right hand if you're able and repeat after me. Other professionals may join us to reaffirm this oath. I hereby affirm that I shall discharge the responsibilities of my profession in a manner consistent with respect for dignity and worth of individual, and that I shall strive for preservation and protection of fundamental human rights, that I shall seek to increase knowledge of human behavior to increase self-understanding and understanding of others, and that I shall use such knowledge for the promotion of human welfare, that I shall seek to embrace the profession's commitment to understand and respect individual and cultural differences, that I shall diligently protect the welfare of others and of those who seek my services, and that I shall use my skills only in the furtherance of human welfare and the integrity of the individual, and that I shall well and truly recognize the traditions and ethics of my profession, and that I shall subscribe to these traditions and ethics freely and upon my honor. As a representative of the Chicago school community, I hereby affirm to actively participate in this learning and professional community by embracing its commitment to understand and respect individual and cultural differences. As such, I will seek to gain knowledge of human difference that I may increase my understanding of self and others. And I will seek to build an environment of inclusion and respect where are all valued. You may be seated. Congratulations.
Congratulations, class of 2020. Again, it was our great honor and privilege to celebrate with you and your loved ones today and to formally welcome you into the Chicago School alumni community. You've accomplished so very much during your time as Chicago School students, balancing the chaos of a pandemic, the changing needs of remote learning, and your own personal and professional responsibilities. You persevered in the face of every single challenge, never losing sight of your ultimate educational and professional goals. I am inspired every single day by your unwavering determination to continue upward and onward, no matter the obstacles that were put in your path. I know that this sense of resolve will help you navigate any challenges in your personal and professional lives in the years ahead. If you can get through a pandemic and through graduate education, you can get through anything. While I cannot predict the future, of course, for you, I do predict that you are equipped to address any crisis with both poise and compassion, two hallmarks of our Chicago School community. Before moving further, I want to take a special moment to give a call out to all of your loved ones that have joined you today. Thank you so much for standing by your students at every turn, providing critical support when staying the course sometimes felt impossible. As partners for these students and graduates now, you have been instrumental to the development of the next generation of dynamic leaders who will bring about so much positive change for our communities. Our students could not have reached this day without you. They know it, we know it, and in so many ways, you're our unsung heroes. So graduates, receiving your degree today is certainly a monumental accomplishment in and of itself, but it's also not the last finish line. Rather, it's the end of just an early chapter in your personal book. Your education is never, ever finished. There's always more to be learned from those around you and more growth to be had. As the philosopher Plutarch wrote, the mind is not a vessel that needs filling, but wood that needs igniting. As lifelong learners, the key is to nurture that spark for your future and to use the spark to guide you through any challenges ahead. I hope that your time at the Chicago School has lit a fire within you, a fire to provide empathic support to those most in need. I urge you to follow your fire and your passion for service to others as far as you can, finding innovative ways to support those in need. Further, part of your role as a graduate is not just to use that fire to fuel your own personal growth and success, but also to use it to light the way for others around you. As I hope you've learned, the progress you can make alone is and never will be anything compared to what we're able to achieve together. As a graduate, it's your responsibility to blaze new trails and to now guide others towards community justice, lighting their flames along the way, providing others with the skills and confidence that they need to pursue their own dreams. Now, of course, fire can be damaging, destroying anything in its path, often unintentionally. This is true of your educational fire as well. We've seen far too many stories of supposed experts using their knowledge to oppress, silence, or mislead. Now more than ever, we need you to nurture your flame for nothing but good, using it to light trails towards equity, inclusion, and to provide a voice for those we all too neglect through silence. As I hope you can see, the diploma that you receive today is far from a one-time award. It represents the lighting of your lifelong flame and your lifelong commitment to serving people around you. By joining our community of alumni, you commit to using your fire to build and to discover. With this fire lit, I cannot wait to see all that you'll accomplish in the years ahead, and I truly am proud to be able to call you official Chicago School alumni. Congratulations again, class of 2022.
Congratulations again to our graduating students, and welcome to our alumni family. This concludes the 2022 commencement exercises. Guests, please remain seated until all faculty and graduates have exited the auditorium. Thank you.